In episode 305, the guild members felt they had Lord Grim and Windward Scribe pinned down, believing their encirclement was proceeding smoothly. Meanwhile, Yeshu had already received word that steamed bun invasion had successfully slipped out. Yi Chu instantly retaliated with an anti-tank cannon, the blast shockwave hurling the two charging players backward.
Let's move.
Okay.
Su Mucheng acknowledged, and Windward Mist immediately launched herself backward with a cannon blast. Yi Chu's Lord Grim used Shadow Clone technique, his true form already waiting for Windward Mist ahead. The guild members closed in from both sides, tightening their pincer formation. But the two of them chose that exact moment to break out, completely ruining the ambush. It was infuriating. So from left and right came a storm of blades, flying bullets and wild spells, all mid to long-range attacks trying to slow the pair down.
I hope they brought a party.
Yi Chu said with great sympathy.
Yeah, right.
Now that would be a truly spectacular sight. It's still quite a sight.
Ye Chu said, as the attacks from left and right were weaved through and dodged by the two of them. They didn't avoid them all, but both knew exactly what they were doing. They dodged only the attacks that would hit them or get in their way. So the attacks from the left and right sides just grazed past them, each flying harmlessly to the opposite side. Su Mucheng didn't miss the chance to tease them, but the scene the two of them were hoping for never materialized. After yesterday's battle, the guild players had likely learned the importance of teamwork. Even if they still weren't great at following orders, at least they'd mastered the basics of sticking together as a team. After forming the party, they gained damage immunity. Though caught in the spell's blast from both sides, they emerged completely unscathed.
How boring.
Su Mucheng muttered, swiveling her cannon to fire a shot at the exit of the air vent they were charging toward. To stop the two, the three who stepped forward didn't dodge the anti-tank gun, taking the hit head-on. But does standing still really stop someone? That thought was far too naive. Yisu's Lord Grim had already rushed forward, blasting them with a falling flower palm that sent all three flying. The players on the left and right tried to pincer him, but Lord Grim grabbed one and executed a backdrop. Those who were quick on the draw leapt back to dodge, while the slower ones were sent tumbling to the ground. Those who had been flipped scrambled to regain control. Some succeeded, others failed. The failures just flopped to the ground, while the successes rolled away in a clumsy tumble. In the blink of an eye, the area around Lord Grim was cleared. As the cannon fire flashed, Windward Rain soared in with a cannon-propelled leap, landing neatly and precisely beside him. Together they flew across the ground, guns and cannons blazing, covering a considerable distance in an instant. Chase them or not? The guild members were in agony. Should they retreat to the city gates under everyone's watchful eyes, holding their posts but losing face? Or should they grit their teeth, stamp their feet, and hunt those two down to the ends of the earth, never giving up until one side fell? The final decision came down quickly: send people to keep an eye on their movements. Several figures broke from the group, chasing after Lord Grim and Windward formation in the direction they'd left. They wouldn't press too close, nor would they try to engage. These few were well aware that rushing in would be a death sentence.
Track his movements. Track his movements.
This phrase became a frequent refrain in the command channels of the major guilds. Their whereabouts were often tracked. Hell, those two just showed up right in front of everyone, all on their own. But what good did it do? They came, they left, and our orders were to track their movements. They were at a complete loss. Why was dealing with these few people so damn difficult? The guild members scattered outside the city gate were in agony. Were they really going to have to camp out here all night again? Got enough movies downloaded? Got enough snacks? Got enough drinks stocked up? Repeating one thing is dreadful. Repeating something with no end in sight, no guarantee of reward, that's even worse. The guild members were doing exactly that kind of terrible work, and the pressure was immense. They hoped it would end quickly, but fate had other plans. The players who had tracked them followed Lord Grim and Windward formation to a small village outside Kongji City. There, they saw the duo meet up with steamed bun invasion. Right under their noses, the scouts hurriedly sent out the latest intel. The major guilds were actively adjusting their strategies based on the latest intel, working hard to strike at Lord Grim and his crew. But before they could even make a move, Lord Grim and his crew had already committed another crime. The three vanished into the village's winding alleys, leaving their pursuers scrambling to pick up the trail. But as they searched, they walked right into an ambush. Yeshu and his crew didn't need to ambush them. They just hid their characters, waited for those guys to blunder into their attack range, then jumped out and took them down. They were being extremely careful, keeping their distance. They weren't afraid of being spotted, but they were terrified of getting too close and drawing an attack from Lord Grimm and his crew. Their method of tailing was far too bold. Lord Grimm and his companions' whereabouts became a mystery once more. Players from the major guilds received this news with a profound sense of disappointment. Meanwhile, members from the top to the bottom of the guilds were all keeping an eye out for the group's movements. But despite all the intel we've sent, the guild's efforts seem to be getting nowhere. It's just so damn disappointing. Where could Lord Grimm and his crew have gone? Leaders like Chen Yahui were deep in thought.
It's still a bit before midnight. They don't need to head to One Line Canyon just yet.
Someone spoke up, and soon word came. Lord Grimm and his party had appeared at One Line Canyon, and the lookouts stationed at the entrance had been killed.
Heading to One Line Canyon now. Are you planning to grind some levels, or are you trying to get close to those two teammates of theirs who haven't logged in yet?
Some people were saying, the chatter went, the ones still offline must be Tang Ru and Chao Yifan. Yekshu's whole team logged out right here in Line Canyon yesterday. Everyone knows that. Now 3 of them are running around freely, but 2 of those are still nowhere to be seen. So the search in One Line Valley began again in earnest. But soon, the players from the major guilds got word. A team had been wiped out over in Blazing Forest.